This Mobile Geeks video is powered by ASUS.
Hi, this is Daniel from Mobile Geeks here at IFA 2016, and we are having a quick look at the brand new Huawei Nova smartphone, which is a mid-tier class smartphone Huawei presented here in Berlin. So first let's have a quick look at the display. This has a 5-inch panel which has Full HD resolution, meaning 1080 by 1920 pixels. It has some really great viewing angles, and the colors look actually very natural, and yeah, I like the colors a lot. For the brightness, this is on full brightness right now, but it's also quite bright here, so I think it will look just great in a bright and sunny day outside as well. We've got an 8 megapixel front camera up on the top, and if we go inside the camera app, you can see that we have a lot of different filters and settings to take the perfect selfie. You also have some kind of makeup here, then you have the beauty filter, and you can actually customize the front camera to know that you are in the picture and making you the most beautiful person in a group selfie. That's at least what Huawei is claiming. So if we are having a further look on the right side, we've got volume rocker and the power button. On the top we've got a microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left side you get a slot for your SIM card. This is a dual SIM version, but there will be a single SIM version as well. And this is also where your micro SD card goes. And on the bottom we've got the speaker and a USB Type-C connector as well. Having a look at the back, you can see that the Huawei Nova is made completely out of aluminum. Not just the back, but also the entire frame is made out of one block of aluminum. And the back is matte, but if you have a closer look at the side, this is actually brushed aluminum on the sides, and it has a really nice and shiny effect, which I really like a lot. On the top we've got a 12 megapixel camera. The Nova Plus has a 16 megapixel camera. Both of them can shoot 4K video, although this one doesn't have optical image stabilization. We also get a single LED flash, and with this glass part over here, it definitely looks like the Nexus 6P. And of course we also get a fingerprint sensor, which works very well and quick with Huawei devices as usual. So spec-wise, we've got you get the Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 CPU, which is an octa-core CPU. You get 3 gigs of RAM, you get 32 gigs of internal storage, which you can expand via micro SD cards, and this is running Android 6.0, which is not the completely newest version, but that's just fine with the Emotion UI 4.1. So performance feels actually quite snappy, and let's have a quick look at the camera. So this is the 12 megapixel camera they are claiming, which has brilliantly fast autofocus with face detection. So let's put the hand inside here. Definitely shoots quite quickly, and then some focus over there. Let's just make a photo of the press, guys. Yeah, looks actually pretty decent. So you should be able to take some really nice photos with this phone. Battery-wise, you will get a 3020 milliamp hour battery inside here, which should be more than enough to get through a day. Probably 1.5 days or 2 days on light usage. So yeah, pretty good battery. Good power sipping CPU, so you should definitely get through a day, probably 1.5. Price-wise, this will be 379 euros in Germany. We don't know the US pricing yet, but it will be probably similar, about 399 US dollars. So that's a very first look at the Huawei Nova here at IFA 2016. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and of course subscribe to our channel to have even more IFA coverage from us. I'm Daniel from Mobile Geeks. Thanks for watching.